everyone, Rosa here with the Reverse 1999 1.4 update featuring this mode as the sand remembered, which is unlocked after you reach a certain point in the story. I believe it's 5.8. And it is a logical puzzle bath thing. And I understand that there are some people who just don't want to think. So I'm going to do the thinking for you, and I'm going to show you how to answer all of these problems. So it's quite interesting. First, you'll just have to talk to everyone and get all the puzzle pieces in place, and then you can start your deduction. And this first one is just going to tell you an introduction of how to do this. So basically, it gives you a problem, and you have to somehow showcase how to get the solution or do the solution by putting down the actions that the characters give you. So for example, this one, very, very simple. Like all math problems, they start you off with 1 plus 1 and then they ramp up the difficulty super quick. Small snails climbing up from the bottom of the well, 8 meters deep, climbs 3 meters during the day, 2 meters during the night. Demonstrate how many days it takes for the snail to climb out of the well. This one is very simple because it's just, you have to just showcase how this happens. So climbs up 3, drops 2, and then it's the next day. And you do this continuously over and over until the snail makes it out of the well. There we go. And that's it. That's basically how this whole mode works. But that's just the first stage, and that's very easy. So now we go into the next one. In this one, a critter has found 12 grapes and plans to carry them to a cave 6 meters away. They can carry up to 6 grapes at a time and can move 3 meters at a time with the grapes in its body, but it will eat 3 grapes. Help the critter select a movement strategy to find the maximum number of grapes that can be carried back. So, technically, if they carry 6 grapes, but they have to move 6 meters in front, which means they move 3 meters twice, it will eat all the grapes. So how do you get about that? You carry the 6 grapes and move 3 meters. Then you drop all the grapes. So now you have 3 grapes put down midway. Go back to the grape pile and carry 6 again and advance 3 meters. Again, the critter eats 3. This time, you carry as many grapes as possible again. So the 3 grapes that you put down midway, you grab it up, advance 3 meters, and that's it. You end up with 3 grapes in the end. Still very easy. We'll move on to the next one. So in this one, you have to put them in the right order based on the clues that it gives you for each shape. The easy way to go about this is just to do process of elimination. So you know that the monad has to be in the rightmost, so that crosses that out for this one. The hexagon can't be in the leftmost and can't be in the rightmost, so it's somewhere in the middle. The rectangle says the monad is not either of the 2 neighboring shapes, which means that it has to be in between 2 shapes, so it's definitely not going to be here. The best one to do is the line segment for the first one, because it says that it has to have more than 1 shape on the right, followed by the pentagram because the line segment is adjacent to the left, so it has to be right beside it. The next one has to be the rectangle, because remember the monad is going to be at the rightmost and it cannot be next to the monad, followed by the hexagon, and then followed by the monad. And that's it. Still pretty simple. We'll move on to the next one. Now we're getting to a really tricky one. Basically, you have to move a wolf, a sheep, and vegetables across the river. However, if you're not there with the shipment, basically, the wolf will eat the sheep and the sheep will eat the vegetables. So you have to be able to transport everything with the minimum number of shipments to cross the river. Basically, the trick of all this is that you can't leave the permutation alone where it will result of one of them being eaten. Now, the only permutation that you can leave alone is the wolf and the vegetables, because apparently wolves hate vegetables. So the best thing you can do first is to put the sheep on the boat. You're currently on the left bank, so row the boat to the right and unload all the cargo. It needs to be said that you can only transport one thing at a time. Then you go back to the left bank and pick up the wolf, or you can pick up the vegetables. Either way, it's the same thing. And you move to the right. Now, if you drop the wolf and you go back, the wolf will eat the sheep. So what you do, while you're here on the right bank, pick up the sheep again and go back to the left and drop the sheep down. So now you have sheep and vegetables on the left side, the wolf is alone on the right side. Like what we said before, the only permutation that you can leave alone is the wolf and the vegetables. So now we can pick up the vegetables, bring it to the right bank, remove all the cargo and leave the wolf with the vegetables, go back to the left, pick up the last thing, which is the sheep, go to the right and remove all cargo. A bit of a brain teaser about that one. It took me a short bit to get that because apparently like it didn't register to me at first that you can just re-pick up the sheep. So that was an interesting puzzle. Now, this is the harder version of the previous one where we put things in order. Again, start with the things that you know. Heptagon has to be in the center, so that takes that away. Then you have the line segment, which is equidistant to the monad as the triangle to the pentagram. You might want to have like a visual, like a pen and paper or an Excel file just to showcase how it's done. The pentagram is as far away from it as from the triangle as possible. Located in left half, but not necessarily the far left side, so it's somewhere to the left of the heptagon. And this is not adjacent to the line segment. So how I thought about it was it starts from here, the triangle. It's as far away from the pentagram as possible. Now, we know that the pentagram and the triangle has to be equidistant has to be the same distance as the line segment and the monad. So they can't be at the extremes because otherwise we won't satisfy this one. So we can do it one off. Because of this, we know that it has to have 5 in between. So it has to go, for example, one of them here, and then the other one is here at the 6th slot, which means that there's 5 in between. So the only permutations where you can do that is one here, and then one in the second one and one in the last one. And then they'll be equidistant. So that is 4 things ticked off. Now the only thing we have to satisfy is the others. So for this case, if you manage to write it out, because the monad's not adjacent to the line segment, in fact, they have to be far apart from each other because of the triangle and the pentagram. We can start with the triangle, then the line segment. Now, this is the last slot of the left half, so we can put the rectangle there. We know this is in the middle, so we'll put the heptagon. And this is sitting adjacent to the heptagon, so this already took up that slot. We'll put the hexagon there. Now, it has to be equidistant, so like we said, five slots. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we put down the pentagram. So now these two have 4 in between them. And then we finish it off with the monad. Finally, the easiest one of them all. We just follow the sequence. So 6, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 3. I guess it's because the previous two, were more of a big brainer. They just said, okay, listen to some music and you'll be fine. And that is all of the puzzles in As the Sand Remembered. You can get all of your clear drops and all of your materials here and just relax afterwards. Like, you don't have to do this anymore after that. There's nothing more to it. So yeah, hope that helped. Hope the logic helped. I had to go a bit teacher mode, but whatever. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!